Hey guys, so I finally get a chance to do this flip through of this journal. I tried filming it before actually, and it was 37 minutes long, and that's just like way too chatty. So I'm gonna try to cut it down and just talk about what's important. I've been working on this for a long time. You may have seen me tease it in my stories and such, but I think I'm finally done. I think I'm done adding things to it. I think that I've just done as much as I can to it, and I'm so happy with the way it turned out. I love this journal so much. The idea behind this one was I just really wanted to create something that was girly and beautiful and feminine and just really pretty to look at, and like the pinks and mints together just was something that I was just really feeling when I was putting the materials and stuff together for this. So this is what I came up with, and I can't wait to show you. So let's get started. So just a satin ribbon closure. Let me undo that. And I've again talked about some of the elements in my story, but this is from it's a vintage shoe clip, so you can clip them onto like little flats or little shoes, and it gives you like a little accessory, which is amazing. I just think that's a really cool element. This is some hand beading that I did on some vintage sequins, and then I just got little gold beads and just put those in the center. So those are all sewed down. This is vintage lace. This is sari trim from Boho Tree, my fave. This looks like some kind of upholstery trim, I'm not sure. And then just some sari here. This is some really beautiful fabric, and yeah, it wraps actually all the way around. So you get the pretties on the both sides, not just one. And then I also did something new, which I really love, and I think I'm going to do more often, which is a little nameplate, and it just says Penny and Rose. Didn't have room for the papery, but the Penny and Rose looks pretty cool. And yeah, just like kind of like having my signature, if you will, on my journals. So that's pretty cool. So let's get into it. This thing is really full, you guys. Yeah, I didn't want to overstuff it, but I mean, I feel like I kind of did. So I don't know how much room there really is to grow, but you could just keep like wrapping the ribbon around it and cinching it so to keep it tight. But yeah, this is full of goodness. Okay, so let me open it up. I don't want to make this video too long like I did the last one. So inside, I've just done some collaging here, and then I did an embroidery. This is like a scrap of a vintage embroidery hanky thingy, and I've put some items in here. So this is, I was gonna make this into a pocket. This is wallpaper, vintage wallpaper. I was gonna make it into a pocket, but it's so pretty, and I wanted you to be able to use it however you like. So if you want, you can sew up the sides and use it as a pocket, or you know, use it however you like and leave it open. But I just left you that option. And then in here, this is a printable from the Graphics Fairy. I backed it with some vintage ledger. There's just a piece that was blank so that you could use it as a journaling card. I like this because it was almost exactly the colors, like the green and pink. So I just thought it went well. And of course roses, duh. And then this is a little Maggie Holmes piece, a like nice big like label with some foiling and beautiful rose or flowers. So you get that in there. So those are extra journaling pieces. So now this is a vintage French ephemera scrap, and I just really liked this, the font and everything. And then I believe this means like memories or something like that. And so I wanted to put that right in the front because, you know, usually that's what our journals do hold, is our memories. So inside here, so this is kind of like a crazy Franken pocket or whatever you want to call it. It's like, this is a scrap of paper piece, and then I sewed it onto an envelope, and then I sewed a hanky. So there's a pocket inside of this envelope and then a pocket here. And inside of that, I just have a vintage letter on this really beautiful blue paper. Just a tiny little bit of distressing I did here. This is from 1923. And then this beautiful postcard here. This is a French postcard. Beautiful girl in roses, and I just love this archway and these like trees back here with the shadows. I mean, this is just a really, really beautiful image here. Beautiful writing on the back, 1924. So you'll get that postcard. There's several postcards in here, so you're gonna, I tapped into my collection for you guys, so you guys are gonna get a few. botanical page here with some lace. This is like a pretty like sea green. Oh, and a little charm here. Sorry, my hands are dirty. I was just cleaning and doing all sorts of things, and my daughter just went to sleep, and so I'm rushing out here to film this flip through. This is vintage wrapping paper, and I just adhered it onto the back of that other paper and put this little French ephemera here. I'm not going to go on and on about the French ephemera, but there's a lot of French ephemera in here. What do we have here? This is French, and I turned it into a little ticket. It was just this little strip thing like this. It was already, you know, I don't know if this is backed with something or whatever this is, this writing, but I just created a hole and made it into a little tag. And then this is an image from the graphics fairy, and I backed that with some scrapbook paper. You could write here on the back. I just love these little angels, and these blue florals are just so pretty. So I just printed out things and included things in here that I just find so pretty and that I felt went along with the color scheme and whatnot. Like here we have pinks and blues, and then you have this page here, this avocado dyed page with pink, and then this is blue ink inside. So this is actually one of my favorite pieces of avocado dyed paper. Sorry trim here. Look at that. And then I put this blue paper here. This I got from my friend Cassie, Dust to Roses. I hope you guys follow her, know her and her shop. But she sent me this in some Happy Mail, and believe me, I was very happy when I got this. I love it. Some Maggie Home scrapbook paper. This is the only scrapbook paper in here as far as bound into the journal. And I turned that into a pocket, and I was just having some fun with collaging here. It's a little ticket. Some little baby blue photo corners to go along with the blue and pink and blue and pink and blue and pink and blue and pink. So that's a pocket, and then inside is just this vintage greeting card, nothing on the back, postcard, excuse me, and a little piece of ephemera here. And I like this one. I like the little 1862. Oh, but 1926. Okay, so it's from 1926, and it looks like a receipt. So that just gets tucked in there. This is a piece of, I don't know if you saw the big map of Paris that I posted in my stories a while back, and I was loving how it had just tape everywhere. So I actually cut into that and made it into a page. A little vintage typed up receipt with blue ink. I just thought that was really cute and unique. This is a botanical sketchbook page. Like, it's a book about botanical sketchbooks. So the images are scanned in from actual textbooks or sketchbooks, and then the book is about the sketchbooks. So I'll show you that book later, but I think it's really interesting. This is just a die cut piece here, and some little collaging with French ephemera, 1843, 1930. Again with the blue too, and just this really pretty aged collage piece here. This is a vintage French magazine page. I just really like this lady. I think she looks so pretty, and I love her dress, and yeah, she looks cool. Some ledger here that I turned into a pocket. This is a really large ledger piece that I have. If you've purchased it from me, you know. Really, really large. So I just turned it into a pocket to make the most use of it. And inside this pocket, I just did this little clipping of pretty things that I had. So it's like a good variety here. There's a big piece of scrapbook paper here. Let me take it out. Big piece of scrapbook paper here with foiling. I love this one. It's like succulents and roses, or flowers, excuse me. A little piece of French ephemera there from 1832. And then there's nothing on the back. You can journal in the back. This here is a beautiful piece of fabric that I have that I just wanted to share. I had this scrap just like this, and it was sitting on my desk, and you know, I have a lot of this fabric, so I thought I would just share this beautiful strip with you. You can use this for so many things. I mean, you know, make a journal with it, you know, adhere it to a cover. The florals and the colors in here are really pretty. So there's that, and then a little baby blue piece of French script. This looks like it's from 1862. So just a little collage piece for you. And then this beautiful photograph. I love this girl. She's got a killer outfit on that looks so comfortable, and she's like holding a teddy bear. Like, what? That's awesome. Like, I wonder what she was up to that day, just cruising around her yard holding her teddy bear. I got this from Moonside Parlour. You guys probably all know her. And so, yeah, I just wanted to include this. It's really cute. So that all gets clipped and tucked back in there. I'll do that in a second. And then this is from a Victorian scrapbook that I got. I just tore this out. And this is a die cut that was on the back of that page. This is some vintage like grid ledger. And I reinforced it with some pretty paper here so that I'd be able to bind it because it's very thin. This is probably one of my favorite pockets because this little Tim Holtz vellum piece here, I love it so much. I just made this little pocket and then a little tag that slides out and slide that back in. It's blank on the back so you can journal. And then a little tab, and then inside of the pocket here is some, this is a piece of, this is from a Tim Holtz paper pad. You can cut these individually and use them however you like. This is from the Graphics Fairy. You may have seen in my story that I was so happy that I distressed it really well and made it look really old. I love the way it turned out. I used a tutorial from Luna Rosu, so you guys can follow that. It's like how I distress papers or something like that. I'm sure you can find it if you look at her channel, but yeah, she just kind of talks about how she makes them look really old, and she's pretty good at that. So and this is just an extra piece of avocado dyed paper with really pretty spotting on it. So that's a ton of journaling space for you, and that just all gets tucked back in. And then some little tape dreams there. If you know me and you follow my Instagram, you know what I mean by tape dreams. And then this is the back of that pocket. I flipped this up so that it could create a really, really small, shallow pocket. And in here, you could journal here, all through here. And then inside the pocket is more things you can use. Let's see, this is just from a little French paper pad. I have a whole pad of this. I like the blue and red. And I just folded that up. This is another piece from that Victorian scrapbook. So it was like adhered onto this paper, and then the paper is just so old. So things are just really falling apart out of that thing, and you have to be really, really gentle. So, you know, I just included what I could. Little piece of ephemera here. I think this is, yeah, two pages, one red and one black, stuck together, and then just a little small book page. So all of that goes into this little pocket here. So I try to include, because a lot of the pages are busy or have things on them, and you know, some of us find it hard to write on, you know, beautiful images or pretty patterns or busy backgrounds. So I try to include things that you would use to actually do writing on, so you don't feel intimidated to like cover up, you know, any of the things that I've done. So you could use all of this for writing front, back, you know, this, you could write on the back of this. So I include things in order for them to be useful to you. So anyways, this is some of my favorite fabric right now, so I included a tab of that, and it just has a beautiful little charm here. This is a beautiful French like fairy tale book is what it looks like, because it's got like princesses and kings and whatnot in it. And this is, I think, one of the cover pages. Love just the font and the red and black, and then the really dark aging, and all of this is just naturally aged. I didn't do any of these. So beautiful, beautiful papers. And I love this floral here. This is just some stuff clipped in. It's just a little tag that I made. And this is from the Graphics Fairy. It's a printable. It's blue. And it looks like maybe like a receipt with a letter. So lots of spaces to write on that. I printed that on coffee dyed paper. Makes the aging a lot easier. And then just as a little scrap here, another, you know, black, red, and cream type of a thing. You can use that however you like. You know the drill. Okay, so then this is just a botanical page with this like tag strip on the side. I just like all these little hanging things, little janglies on the side. So some stamps, coffee dyed page, sorry trim. This one looks similar to the one on the front, but it's actually different. This is a more of a sheer white base And then this one is like a mint green, as you can see. I just included that tab there. This is from the Graphics Fairy as well. I printed it on craft paper, music sheets, tape dreams, fun stuff in this pocket. Okay, so let's see. This is a like really pretty tag. It's really large. I got this from Cassie, who is Greek Chick on Instagram. You should check her shop out. She always has cool stuff. A little French ephemera here. And that just goes in here. I love this blue tag. I have just a few of them, and the color is just absolutely perfect. It like reminds me of French blue, and I placed it here to kind of bring in the blue on this page here, which is a Little Red Riding Hood book page. And then in here is a little vellum piece that I stapled to be a like little tuck spot, so you just can tuck stuff right under there. And in here is piece of scrapbook paper and this little blue I'm outside and the wind is coming. This is a little blue French piece with some script, so, and that's vintage. So there, yeah, children's book page. And then I adhered this little vellum piece that says parcel post because I really wanted to add an airmail envelope, and I feel like that's just the perfect place to add one. So this is empty, but it is a vintage envelope. And it's green and red, not the typical blue and red, so I like that. This is avocado dyed paper, and then I just made this little peepee window here. I was just having fun experimenting with this, and I love the way it turned out. I might have gotten a little off on the framing here, but I'm gonna keep practicing this. I like it, and I like that you can see the words underneath. And you know, you could always put something different underneath. This next page is vintage French magazine, I believe. Some really big ledgers, and that's brings us to our Centerfold. So yeah, really pretty ledger. And this is a little embellishment that I made, just random little things. I like little spinny things. So I just made this little spinner, and it's, like I said, it's along with the brad, so you can take the brad off and take all this off and use it however you want, or place it somewhere else. That's another reason why I left this open. This is more of that French magazine with beautiful French ladies. So beautiful. Top loading pocket here. Fold out page. I love fold out pages because they don't have to fold out this way. Like, just because it's coming out this way, you can, you know, do it on this side too. So this is that children's book page, the back of that. In here is another vintage postcard, roses of course. There's a small amount of writing on the back. I don't see a year. And there's a little poem here, and it's all gold. Love this. I've never actually really seen one that's just so gold like this. So, and then this is some like smaller widthwise ledger that I got from Cassie as well in Happy Mail, and I wanted to include it in here for, again, more journaling space. So you have that option. So it just gets tucked in there. And then this is, okay, so this is a double pocket. So there's a pocket here on this pocket. So it's a pocket and then a pocket here. So inside here is just some French writing here. I think this came out of maybe like a school notebook or something like that. That's what it looks like. And that is vintage. And then in here is a bunch of fun little things. So a vintage French, maybe perfume label, but it's like nice and embossed. Very hard for me to give this one up. I love it so much, but it fits so nicely in that little pocket with all these little things, so I thought I would include it. 2 little tags, and then this is from a Tim Holtz paper pad, so you can use that however you like. I just like the little strip, and again, it fit perfectly in this pocket, so there it goes. Just some embossed craft paper. This is more from that Victorian scrapbook that I got. It's a die cut. Don't try to peel this off of here. It's not going to happen. You're going to end up ruining it. I've tried. So I know there's probably a method you could do to remove these, but I haven't looked into that or tried it yet. Some a big sorry pocket here. Botanical book page, and then another charm. This is an actual real piece of turquoise. A little bead. So I added that there. Turquoise is my favorite stone pretty much ever. So it's just a little something that's special to me that I included in here. Another pocket. This is a large scrapbook paper, and I folded it over to kind of protect this page that's, you know, really damaged and kind of brittle. So I just put that over, and then you can obviously journal on this. So, and then the colors of this too, once again, just kind of go along with the whole theme. And then this is a vintage photograph of Notre Dame in France. So it came out of a little photograph like booklet. And this is a piece of French ephemera. Yep. Beautiful letterhead. Beautiful little stamp. So, oops. Yeah, so this goes right in here. And then that's the back of that. Isn't that so pretty? And I just wanted to bring in some pink on this side and not leave it so blank, so I just put another piece of vintage French ephemera there that's pink. Just breaks up the page a little bit too. Here is a beautiful greeting card. Oh my goodness. So this one opens up really large. So imagine your journaling space here. Just write something all in here, or, you know, cut it up. You can just cut this out if you want. There's so many things you could do. Or hoard it. That's what I would do. Let's just be honest. I think this is like a French bus ticket or something. I found this inside of a Michelin guide to Paris. So I think it's probably like some sort of a transportation ticket. Let's see. Yeah, just some collaging here. And, ooh, this is a little really pretty handmade tag that I made. I love the way this tag came out. I was dying to use these elements, this fabric here and this piece here. So I just put them together and I just made this really pretty handmade tag. So you can write on the back of that. And let's see what else is in here. More of that map. And coming close to the end, I believe. There's a pocket here. And in the back here, I just did some collaging here, and this is some really pretty fabric that I have from a scarf. And then back here is another piece of ephemera from the Graphics Fairy that I've distressed using Luna Rose's technique. And this is a picture of a lady in this little folder here, and I just love beautiful old relics like this, you know? Like, I just imagine, like, well, first of all, why was this, you know, thrown out for trash or given away or whatever? Like, who is this person? Where's her family? What's her legacy? Why did it not, you know, go on to where someone just, you know, gave this away? But yeah, sometimes I just get really curious about my vintage ephemera, don't you? Okay guys, so that is the end of the journal and of the flip through. Sorry if this video kind of skips around a little bit, or I don't know, just doesn't make sense. I'm going to try to edit it as best as I can, but I did have several interruptions. So, and now my little girl is awake and she's here with me. So just a note about the ephemera. I really wanted to include, you know, vintage ephemera as well as a mix of printed, because I know sometimes we have a hard time, you know, using or cutting up or writing all over pretty vintage things. So yeah, so with the printed stuff, maybe you just feel a little less bad about writing on it and using it for journaling space. At least that's my opinion, and that's sometimes the way I feel. So anyhow, it's all done. This will be up for sale soon. I haven't figured out the details yet. I just wanted to get the flip through filmed. So there you have it. So thanks for watching. Bye.